Coming to you live from Los Angeles for 6 days and almost 50 hours of coverage, and you don't want to miss a second of the action. You'll see the explosive press conferences, breaking news from the show floor.
Now, let's welcome Todd Howard, Craig Lafferty, and Jeff Gardinerto to give us an inside look at Fallout 76, Starfield, and the Elder Scrolls 6. Wow, you guys are really going to tell us a lot, it sounds like. I can't wait to...
We have nothing to say.
Nothing at all?
No.
Good segment. Thank you for coming by the IGN stage. You guys finally revealed Fallout 76. Very different type of Fallout game for you guys this time. I have a question about Fallout 76. It's a bit of a selfish question for me. This type of game, multiplayer Fallout game, what does that mean for the VATS system?
Well, it's still there.
It's not there. It is there.
It is still there.
Okay.
Jeff?
Yeah, we decided to keep VATS in the game. It's an integral part of 76.
It's my favorite part of Fallout, so
thanks.
It's great to hear. But can you explain how that works in a multiplayer setting?
Well, it doesn't pause the game, because otherwise everyone on the server would be very bored while you selected your targets. You press the bumper, you pull it up, you get to choose your targets in real time. It's a faster, more fluid system, but it works pretty much the same.
What's good about it is, like VATS in Fallout 3 and 4, regardless of how it works, it fills that role for a player who maybe isn't the best Twitch kind of, shooter person. Yeah, and VATS still fills that role even though it's running in real time, that you can take your character, pick the right perks and your specials and say, okay, I'm going to be somebody who uses VATS a lot, and I'm going to be able to target people in a way that I'm not physically able to.
That sounds interesting. So is this going to be a familiar Fallout experience, just all the other people you see are other players?
That's a good way of saying it, right? You still, when you sit down and play the game, it plays like you would expect from us. You're coming out, you're exploring a world, there are quests you find, there are things you get to do and level up your character. But then the main difference, obviously, is the other characters, they aren't NPCs, they're real people.
Right.
Okay, so there are obviously differences in how you communicate or what other people might want you to do or to join them or all of those things. So whereas it feels like Fallout, it's also very, very unique in its game flow and your own mood while you're playing it.
So is every other person in the game a real player, or are there also still NPCs?
Every other human being in the game is another player. Even so down to raiders. We took the raiders out. So
wow.
Yeah.
So how are you getting your quests?
Good question. We really leaned in on that. We debated this, right? It's not an easy decision to say, but that was the vibe we were going after. That if you have NPCs, your mood changes, or you see a sign that says ammo for sale.
Right.
Well, you're okay, whatever, they're NPCs. But if you see a sign that says ammo for sale, you know a player made that, and that's a very different mood, and it's very Fallout-y as well. So going back to how you get quests, there's a lot of systems that we have in 4. People are already finding a lot of quests through holotapes or this found world or magazines, but we still have robots. So we use robots a lot for delivery of what the quest story is and things like that we would traditionally have an NPC do.
Okay. Is there, how do I put this, like friendly fire? Are you able to injure or harm every other player in the game?
We are still dialing that in.
Okay.
So I could sort of say where we're at with it.
Okay.
But we don't want this to be a griefy experience. If you want to engage in PvP, we want to have some drama there. And if you don't, we want to offer you the challenge and say, hey, if you want to do this, here are the incentives. But if you don't want to, it's something you can get away from or avoid pretty easily.
Interesting. And then there are also, don't know what word to use for them, monsters, mutants that are in the wasteland. How are you referring to them?
How are you referring to the mutants?
Well, yeah, or whatever the monsters are.
All the old enemies from Fallout are in there, and then we added a bunch of new enemies that we outlined in the showcase last night. All the mythology from West Virginia is so rich, and they'll offer a ton of unique gameplay experiences and in combat encounters. Some of them are super cool. Mothman in particular is really cool.
The Mothman is really great.
Mothman is
we'll
really
have more on that later, but he acts like a different kind of creature. He's not just the Mothman. He has certain behaviors. I'm about to spoil it, but
okay. All right. In our footage here, we saw some footage from inside the vault. I imagine the game begins inside Vault 76, and then you create your character?
Yes, the vault acts as our character creation.
Okay. And then I'm just wondering how this game begins. You create your character, and then you exit the vault. Are you exiting it by yourself and then just going off trying to find other people?
Well, it depends on what the other people are doing, right? So that's kind of part of the fun randomness of this game. We don't know what everyone's going to do. There's a chance that there are other people in the vault, depending on who's making their character that time and which server you got matchmake to. And then when you step out, there could be people outside of it. There could not be. The game is not crowded. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's not. You're not seeing tons of people. Right now, we show them all on the map,
so that you can find other people, because the world is so big. And we're just talking about dozens of people, so it's not this kind of party of people outside the vault.
Yeah, you said the world is 4 times as large as Fallout 4, but only dozens of people. So what is that world filled with?
The things you would expect, adventures, locations, creatures, things. It's also, we wanted to expand it for a number of reasons. One was to have much more unique regions in the world, and not have something that feels, the same. The other one is we felt that we did need to spread players out so that they could make their own journeys. And with the new rendering and landscape system, to feel those hills and mountains in West Virginia, we need more space.
I see.
Otherwise, it feels compressed. It feels artificial.
So, bigger world to traverse. Are you adding vehicles?
No.
No vehicles.
There are vehicles, but they explode. Yeah. Like before.
All right, so you're still getting everywhere by foot.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us about these. There are live nuclear warheads available.
Yes, there are.
to players. But getting to them isn't necessarily going to be easy, is that right?
No, the codes are very complicated. How you get them, how you find them, it's part of the main story. And then once you've unlocked them, you'll be able to repeat that quest. In the server landscape will change dramatically, like we said. Once you decide to nuke areas, there's some functionality there that I don't want to reveal right now, but there's some functionality to that on top of, there's a rival gang of players here I want to nuke. But yeah, they're fantastic. Really.
And going back to the nukes, with that, when people say get nukes, they think about just destroying things, like the ultimate power.
Yes.
But we really took it a step further to say, okay, well, what is kind of, why would you want to nuke an area, and then how to make that fun? So it really comes across, yes, if people stay in that area, it will kill them, but its main thing is to create this high-level zone. It's almost like, okay, we, the players, are going to create a high-level zone. Hey, it's fun to blow it up. But then you have to be high-level, make sure you have the right power armor and equipment to then deal with those challenges.
Okay.
So that's kind of the vibe of the nukes, not just, I'm going to kill these other people.
Okay.
I have another question about the nukes, but to get there, you're able to build, like, how large a homestead are you able to build? Like an entire settlement, or just a really big house?
No, it's just
Nintendo, but Pikmin is one that's very important to a lot of Nintendo fans out there. And Miyamoto himself has gone on record and said that the franchise is still
not get another Star Fox announcement? That's the big question here. Like, we haven't heard anything from Retro in a while. Yeah.
Well, they just did Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, right? The port of that.
Yeah, but that was a port, right? Like, presumably you don't need the entire game, and they should have been able to crank out something for this year's E3. But what's your call? Do you think it'll be here?
I really want it to be here. You know, the rumors are flying real high for this one. I personally think it will be at this E3 in some shape or form. I think we will see it. But you know, nothing obviously is for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that we at least did get Star Fox and Starlink, and you can play the entirety of Starlink as Star Fox, which is really cool.
Yep.
And there's going to be extra Star Fox story content as well, right?
That is true. Yeah, it will have story content that's exclusive to Star Fox on Switch.
All right, we're about to find out in just a few minutes. It is time for a quick break, but sit tight because when we come back, Super Smash Bros. And just ahead, Nintendo Direct.
Before you find IGN's awesome content anywhere else online, you'll find it right at home on IGN.com. With IGN First, you'll get a sneak peek at never-before-seen gameplay, exclusive insights from developers, and a whole lot more. NVC Live brings you IGN's Nintendo podcast,
crew is dead drunk in my sick bay after eating your miraculous space chili. It's so.
Well, I have no idea what you mean. Our food is healthy, invigorating.
Captain to crew, dead monkey in the crow's nest. I repeat, monkey down. Else space chili strikes again.
Copy that, Captain. Hey, Paige, bet we could use your space chili to overclock our engines.
Negativo, mi amor. Only you can melt my circuits.
Keep laughing, fools. The key ingredient to good cooking is love.
What? Engineering to officers, we are dead in the water. I repeat.
Main engines are cursed. Nox, come in. What have we got on the scanners?
Jack shit. Nada. Hey, wait. I see something. 3 o'clock starboard. It's massive. Like, get back here, Shani. Pull off!
Give your auxiliary engines, deploy shields and pick up bow now! Brace yourselves! Gods protect us.
Where's your master? I don't deal with domesticated.
Hey, the fuck? I ain't got no master, but I do have your little toy.
Show me the idol. Show me the Redeemer.
Here you go, mate. Yo, hand it over. I got a hot date. We don't do late.
Monkey's got a date.
What? That's Swiss fucking chocolate, Pete. Bon appetito.
Every fucking cop in this fucking city after that fucking bastard!
Grab my chassis, Noxie! Damn! I've seen your scar, you
expect me to send you something. You don't know the price of a million. Do it. Breaking it, shaking it, making it, and never breaking it, man. Lyrical,
It's about bloody time. Let's see what we've got. Moksha. Just as Yama described it. True freedom lies beyond.
It's a good game online, but like Smash Brothers is the one that
people love at tournaments like Evo, and I think they're doubling down on that for sure, with spectating tournaments and all that.
Well, Melee has definitely been the preferred Smash for competitive players.
Yep.
So do you think this game will go back towards Melee style play, like faster, heavier, if they're going in for this competitive sense?
Yeah, it could go either way. Obviously, Melee is still huge within the competitive community. It's still played at Evo and most fighting game competitions.
Yeah.
But I definitely think they're going to try something new with this Smash. I don't think they're going to try and replicate exactly what they did with Melee.
Sakurai he's not that kind of person to listen to the fans and exactly give them what they want.
Right.
So,
It's like, no, you're wrong.
No, he's like, nope, I'm going to tweak this however I see this game.
So we're sure to get a release date, and you think that'll be in September?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, absolutely.
Earlier launch for Nintendo's big. Well, I guess they also have the Pokemon games.
Yeah,
coming
Pokemon on November 16th.
And it's a huge quarter for them.
Yeah.
It is. Smash Brothers is one of the top sellers. Mario Kart is, tops Wii Sports in the past. Smash Brothers was always up there. That's huge. And then Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon is a console seller.
Humongous seller.
Yeah, and Fire Emblem still has to come out at some point this year as well.
Oh, yeah, that's
whoa. Fire Emblem has to come out this year?
It has to come out.
What if it doesn't?
Well, it might not. It might make a lot of people sad out there.
We have
like Pear.
I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan. We have not seen any game play of that either.
We don't know if it's a traditional Fire Emblem experience on Switch. We have gotten console Fire Emblems before, at least on GameCube.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It's been a little while.
We haven't even mentioned Animal Crossing. Are we going to get an Animal Crossing? I feel like they're priming us with that mobile game earlier.
Right.
So are they going to...
There could be. Nintendo has such a big stable of franchises, right? People ask for F-Zero and Wave Race and Pikmin and Mario Party and like all these games.
We all want everything all the time.
I feel like
It's not
though,
possible.
I feel like Nintendo conferences at E3 are like Star Trek movies. Like every other year, you get a stellar one that freaks everybody out. Everybody's super happy, and then you get the kind of like, it's still fun, but it's not exactly what you wanted. And it felt like last year they were giving us what we wanted. Metroid announcement, Mario, and all that. So I don't think we'll see them roll out trailer after trailer of these new unannounced games.
Just going to be focused on Smash.
Smash is, that is their big focus for 2018. E3 is usually focused on the year for them. So I agree.
Is the booth going to be all Smash?
So I tried to peek, but you can't see it.
Yeah, it's still a
Also, if we
mystery.
talked about it, we'd be shot.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
You mentioned Mario Party, though. They do have a new Mario Party coming out, right? Like, that's the collection game? Or did that already come out?
No, there was one that recently came out on 3DS.
3DS, yeah.
Yeah.
That's out. We haven't heard anything about a new Mario Party in a while, but online play, launching an online network, there is going to be Mario Party for sure.
If they do have another Mario Party, I want it to go back in the style of the GameCube and Wii and 64 games and not the Wii U game.
You don't want to hitch a ride with other
I do
people
not.
in a car? You want to be in your...
I want to fight and be mad and not be...
The IGN app is the best way to stay up to the minute on what you love. No matter what you play, create the custom feed and filter what you want to watch. Live streams have never been easier to find. With a floating video player on iOS, you can keep watching the live stream as you read other news, world premiere trailers, and the biggest games. Download the IGN app from the iOS or Android stores now. Sign up for notifications and we'll alert you the second news breaks. Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment,
Okay, I'll wait for a few minutes. Probably a few minutes. Probably, maybe 2 minutes. I don't know. Nintendo, you have to do a good job this time. Because you ship usually every year.